All right, now we are looking at another permutation kind of how to do these problems when they give us part of the information but not all of it. All right, and so here's what we know. We know, so they say find a geometric means, and they say find 3 geometric means between 2 and 1250. And the first time I saw this, I went, I don't even know what they're asking, right? So then I realized what they are asking is they're saying this is my first term and then this is my last term. And so the way I look at this is, well, that means this is a to the 1, so this is 2. All right, and then it says there's 3 of them between them. So that means that basically if this is a to the 1, this would be a2, a3, a4, and so those are between this, right? And then meaning that this 1250 is actually my 5th term. All right, and so that's good to know, right? Because 3 geometric means. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's how I got these 3, right? I just used the information they gave me. So think of these numbers as your bookends. This is how many books you have between them, and then you just kind of label them out, right? And then now believe it or not, I have enough information to figure this out because I'm going to use this equation. I'm going to use this r to the n minus 1 equation. So my a to the n is my last term. Right? It's my 5th term, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go on the fact that there's only 5 terms in this, right? Even though there might be more, but for our purposes, I just want to find these. And so I'm going to write 1250 right here for this a to the n, and then equals, now my a to the 1 is my first term, so that's 2. My r, I don't know what r is yet, all right? But I do know what n is, and n is 5, because you've got 5 terms here, so we have 5 minus 1. And so let's simplify this now, and then we're going to use what we know about roots. So you got r to the 4th, all right? So suddenly this becomes a problem we can actually do using basically a version of the square root property, except it's not square root. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything by 2, okay? So that we get r to the 4th over here, and then this is going to give me 625. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to take the 4th root. I want to figure out what r is. So I'm going to take the 4th root of both of these. And we're fortunate because I can actually take the 4th root of 625. And this 4th root is 5. But it's not just positive 5. It's also negative 5, right? And that's what's weird about these, is when you're dealing with an even root, you're going to have the possibility that it could be negative. Right? And I'll show you in a second why. All right? And then the 4th root of r to the 4th is r. And so now, in order to figure out what these means could be, right, you would say, well, so option 1 is that you would have 2, and then we would have 2 times 5, right? And so if we multiply 5, right, we're using the positive case, that would give me 10. And if you multiply by 5 again, right, I'll put it right here, you get 50. If you multiply by 5, right, times 5, you get 250. And then 250 times 5 again gives you 1250. Right, so that's case 1. Right, and case 2 is negative 5. Right, so you have 2, and now I'm going to go times negative 5, right, gives you negative 10. And then times negative 5 again gives you positive 50. So you see what's going on here? Times negative 5 gives you negative 250, and then when you multiply by negative 5 again, you get back to your positive 1250. So they will both get you from 2 to 1250. And so, so the 3 geometric means is they could either be, so your answers would be 10, 50, and 250, or negative 10, 50, and negative 250. So these are your possibilities here. Okay, so that's how these problems work, and they're kind of weird, but that's just a little screwing around and figuring out. All right, now this says find 4 geometric means. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 0 to 5, 0.5. I'm going to leave this one blank. I'm going to put 4 blanks here, and then I'm going to put this one here, 512. And so if this is a to the 1, right, This would be A2, this would be A3, A4, A5, and then A to the sixth. All right? So now this one, I know my A1 is this and my A6 is 512, right? So basically I'm going to have A to the sixth is equal to my A to the 1 times R to the 6 minus 1. And let's put in our numbers. A to the 6 is 512. A to the 1 is 1/2 or 0.5. Then R to the, this would be to the 5th power because 6 minus 1 is 5. All right? And so now I'm going to divide by 1/2, right? I'm going to divide both sides by 1/2, which is kind of the same thing as like, you know, multiplying by 2, essentially, right? So this gives you 1024 is equal to R to the 5th power. Now, because this is a odd root, okay, that means that it has to either be only positive or only negative, right? This isn't going to be like the even ones where it can be both, right? So I'm going to put in to my calculator, I'm going to go 10, 24, and then you do your function on your calculator that you're going to use for this is the one that looks like this. All right? So I hit that, and then once you hit that button, you put in your root, and then you get 4. All right? So R is equal to 4, right? When you take the 5th root of both of these. Okay? So if that's 4, that means that to find my terms, I'm going to go 0.5. I'm going to multiply it by 4. All right? I'm going to switch colors up with this. I'm going to use red. I'm going to go times 4 and just put that between all these. Times 4, times 4, times 4. And then we'll get our answers. So 0.5, 1/2 times 4 gives me 2. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 8 times 4 gives me 32. 32 times 4 gives me 128. And then 128 times 4 gives me 512. So my 4 geometric means are these 4 right here. And so the way to think of this is whenever you're going to have an even root, you're going to have a positive and a negative case to do. And whenever you have an odd root, it will be either one or the other, right? So that's how those work. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the last video.